Hi everyone, welcome to RunSignup 101 Quick Hits, just basically overlooked features that our new and small races seem to miss quite frequently. And so we're just gonna jump in and go over a lot of these different features that we offer. So our onboarded team, I am Val Lofton, our lead onboarding manager. I'm joined today by Blair and Katie. And we also have Madison and Whitney that are on our team. Those would be the ones that would be reaching out to you when we review your races as you set them up on the platform. And if we notice any issues or just want to check in and make sure everything is going well. So today's agenda, we're going to be covering some dashboard tips and tricks, flexible pricing options, promotions and marketing, donations, volunteers, and then participant management. So our dashboard tips and tricks, one of the most common questions that we get from race directors when they first set up on the platform is simply how to access their dashboard. You can do this by logging into your RunSignup account. I'm going to log in and then clicking on your profile picture or the person icon and then accessing my races. If you're on your race, you can also do it just by clicking on your profile picture or the person icon and go to race dashboard. All right, some other dashboard settings that we have is that you can actually expand your entire dashboard menu so that way you don't have to click the show more at all times. You can also change the menu size to small, medium, or large font, depending on your needs and what you just like. It's completely up to you. You can access this while you're on your race dashboard, going to profile and then dashboard settings, and that will be your default view for every single race that you have on the platform. You can also quickly find menu items by using our menu search that's up in the upper left-hand corner in the race dashboard section. In the example that I'm showing you here, I just started typing in QR, and anything that relates to the QR with QR in it will pull it up. In this case, I was trying to access QR codes and links, which is under our promotion, but it just saves a little bit of time just by simply getting there quicker with the menu search. So our flexible pricing options can incentivize signups, drive early registration, and just make your race more appealing to families or budget conscious runners. Today, we're going to actually cover 3 of our more popular pricing options, but we do have a lot of ways that you can discount your race and drive registrations. So the first one is our age-based discounts. It's a simple hands-off way to encourage registration across different age groups. They automatically will apply, the discounts will automatically be applied at discount based on the participant's date of birth that they enter during registration, and they don't need any promo codes or to enter in any additional information. As you can see in this example here, there's a discount for children 0 to 12. They will get a $15 price point. And then anybody that's a senior for 60 plus will get a discounted price point at $20. Anybody else in between there will default to this pricing that I set up in the Race Wizard of $25. You can access this by going to financial pricing and then age-based discounts. Another popular one is our multi-person pricing, which is the perfect way to offer family discounts in particular. It's going to encourage more people to register in a single transaction, and it really does make it feel more inclusive for families or large groups of people that just want to register together. And you have different options that you can set up with this, such as cart total, an overall discount off of the transaction, or you can give a discount per registrant. Coupons are a flexible way to promote your race and reward specific groups like partners or social media followers. You can control the usages with your by setting limits, expiration dates. You can also track the redemption so you know exactly who is using those coupon codes. They're great for driving certain campaigns or urgency, and they can be shared through email, social media, flyers that you would hand out in races and stores and things like that. So I'm going to jump into just a quick little demo to show you guys how these pricing options work. So from your race dashboard, in order to set up age-based pricing, you would go to Financial, Pricing, and then Age-based Discounts. These two options up here are sometimes overlooked, and this is actually what's going to display the age-based pricing on your event tiles and then also through the registration path. They are optional, but you want to make sure people know that those discounts are available to encourage more people to register. So setting up your dates is going to actually when your discount will start applying. So in this case, we would want it to be available immediately. So I'm going to set it up for today, and their discount would go all the way through race day. And then you would put in your age ranges. So I'm going to do a youth discount, and then I'm going to discount it to $15. You do have additional options here to be able to say that they don't get a giveaway. And then they also wouldn't be eligible for any additional discounts by clicking the membership-based discounts. Then you can save your age-based discounts there, and it'll automatically display on your tile once you have that completely set up here. For family pricing or multi-person pricing, you're going to go to Financial, Pricing, and then Multi-person sign-up pricing, and you'll just click to add the pricing. Again, this is just when the pricing is going to start. If it's going to be starting available immediately, you would just put in today's date, and then you would put in when you want it to end. In this case, I would want it to end on race day. You put it in the description. Most commonly is going to be family discounts, and then you can choose how large you want it to be. I'm going to say a family of 4 or more will just have a cart total of $75. And so it doesn't matter if they register 4 people or 8 people all together in one registration, the total is always going to be $75. You can also not allow them to have giveaways, and then you can auto select the multi-person pricing to show up as soon as they get that 4th person in the cart. And then to set up coupons, you can do this by going to Financial, Pricing, and then Coupons. You just would click to add your coupon, and then you're going to name it whatever you want to. I'm going to do a 4th of July discount for freedom, and I'm going to give $5 off. This is going to be a discount per registrant, so anybody that's using that discount code, and you do need to apply it to your race registration fees. You do have additional options, like you cannot apply it to age-based discount or the multi-person pricing. And you also could limit it to so many transactions or total registrations. So if you have a sponsorship that you're doing that receives 10 registrations, you could put that in there if you want to. And then you'll just save your coupon. When it brings you back here, you can copy the code that you can share on social media, or you can actually get an auto apply coupon link where it'll apply that coupon code immediately, and they no longer have to put in freedom at checkout. All right, so we're going to be going into our promotion and tools. RunSignup is a powerful platform to manage your race. However, a lot of new race directors think that they can just set it up on RunSignup and be done with it, and that really shouldn't be the case. You really do need to actively promote your race in order to drive those registrations, and we have a lot of built-in features to help you with marketing and promoting your race. So one of the first things is our QR codes and links. RunSignup has QR codes that are already generated for your race. They are simple, but a really effective way to market. You can drop those codes onto flyers, posters, social media posts, and just it makes it easy for people to easily access any of the pages that you have. We have a different QR code for your sign up page, which will take them right into that registration path, the home page, your donation page, results, and then photos for those post-race emails or social media links. So referral rewards are one of the most powerful and underused tools, especially for small races. Referral rewards will turn your participants into promoters. It's really low effort on your part, but it has a really high impact. And honestly, one of the easiest ways to boost registration, it allows your participants to get rewards, either monetary or swag, by simply asking their friends, families, coworkers to join them in the race, and they register using their specific code. So referral programs really only work when people know about them. So it's important that you remind participants in emails, social media posts, on the website, etc., that this promotion does work. You need to set goals that make sense and the rewards are motivating but manageable. And you should always try to celebrate your top referrers by calling them out on social media, thanking them, and making sure that they get the swag or the monetary funds that they deserve. The email marketing is still one of the best ways to reach your participants. Email V2 is built right into your dashboard, and you can target specific groups. You can design great looking emails. And you can automate emails, so it makes it just really simple to be able to get out there and promote your race with our price increase emails, incomplete registrations, and registration follow-ups. It is free, powerful, and it saves you from juggling around a bunch of different tools and having to use an outside email source such as like Constant Contact or MailChimp. Donations are a great way to add purpose to your race and bring extra revenue, especially if you're partnering with a nonprofit or you are a nonprofit. Donations are built into our registration flow to make it just an easy one-stop registration and donation path for everyone. Donations, the donation path that we provide, it's quick, seamless, and it hits people right at the perfect moment when they're already engaged and they're registering for the event and they're feeling connected to your cause and your nonprofit. So it's a great way to just really pull at those heartstrings or whatever to get them to register, as well as create that extra donation. Some things that are often overlooked with our small races is adding things like a nonprofit logo. I would urge you to make that logo different than your race logo, so it focuses in on exactly what your race is going to be supporting. Adding in a description that is not going to be too long and too much for people to be reading, but lets them know exactly where those funds are going to be going. And then, of course, adding in donation levels. They are automatically set up if you enable donations through the Race Wizard, but you can go in and you can edit those to the different amounts that you feel is appropriate, and you can add in some different wording on there so people know like how those funds are going to be spent with that particular amount of money. Our donation at checkout, you can offer small amounts, like we recommend small amounts like $3, $5, or $10 at the checkout. It's a low pressure way to ask for additional funds. And if the participant has already chosen to donate during that registration path, this option will not show up on the checkout page, but it really does capture extra people to say, okay, yeah, sure, I can donate an extra $3 towards your cause. It's a great way to boost that revenue for your nonprofit. Our volunteer tool is built right into the platform, which means that you don't have to use any spreadsheets or separate sign-up forms such as Google Docs. It is a really overlooked feature and something that's not utilized nearly enough as it should be. With our volunteer platform, it is all in one. You can set up custom tasks. You can set up time slots as well, so you can be as vague or as detailed as you need to be with your tasks. You can communicate specifically with just your volunteers through email. You can have a customizable volunteer waiver, and you can even generate questions needed, such as like t-shirt size if they have a specific t-shirt. I mean, it's just a great way to be able to have everything all in one platform without having to use Google Docs or an outside registration specifically for volunteers. Our participant management really does make it a big game changer for races. It takes a lot of the stress off of race directors and puts the responsibility onto participants in order to manage their own registration and make sure everything is exactly the way that they want. So some of the self-serve tools that we're going to be covering today is going to be refunds and refund policy, giveaway and add-on management, deferrals and event transfers. Those are really ones that focus in on what small races are going to be needing. All of these items can be managed through the participant's profile when they go to their profile, and they'll see the race that they're registered for, and then they can click on Manage Registration. So the refund and refund policy, it's really important that you have a clear refund policy from the beginning. It's going to save you time and stress. If you choose to allow refunds, you can actually allow the participant to enable that or to initiate that refund. You can do manage the way you do this with a cutoff date. You can do percentages based on the timeline. So you could allow them to have a 50% refund if they request one within 30 days of the race, things like that, because you do spend those funds along the way. So it makes sense to go down. You can do a full refund, including the processing fee, if you would like to. Now, those processing fees are not refundable by RunSignup, so that is a cost that you would have to incur, but you can absolutely offer that as an option if you wanted to. You can also include not to include refunds. You can do event-specific refunds. And then I would encourage everyone to edit their refund policy to keep that wording and branding on point with your organization instead of our just default refund policy. So our giveaway and add-on management is a self-serve tool that will allow participants to update their selections. So you can allow them to do that by going to participant management, and then giveaway or the add-on management, and just simply enabling it. So you can have a cutoff day for when you need to make the order of those items, and they can simply go in there and change their shirt size from a medium to a small, or a small to a large, whatever it is that they're looking to do, and it's less work that you have to worry about on race day. Allowing deferrals is going to strengthen a no refund policy, and it's going to help keep participants instead of losing them altogether because you're providing them with options. You can manage your deferrals by allowing them to do them, but you can assess a deferral fee if you would like to. You can have cutoff dates, and you can even have specific event settings. But again, it's giving the user some additional options aside from no refund. It keeps them happy. It keeps them in the race for years to come. So it's something that you should definitely consider instead of just saying absolutely no refunds. The event transfer is the same thing. If you're offering more than one event, you can allow them to transfer to events. So it's keeping participants happy by allowing them to switch distances in case they get injured down from the 10K to the 5K, or maybe they realize that they're in better shape than they thought and they do want to go up to the 10K. You can you can charge an event transfer processing fee. You can do cutoff dates. You can even do cutoff dates by event. And there are other specific transfer settings that you can enable, such as allowing them to transfer into full events, keeping the same bib number so you don't have to worry about transferring those things. And there's just additional options that you can choose there. But it really does help keep the participants happy, and they'll want to come back to do your race if you offer them additional options such as deferrals or event transfers. So that is what we have today. Thank you for joining us. Do we have any questions that we can answer?
Yeah, we do have a couple questions. Somebody was asking about the deferrals. If you only have one event a year, do you suggest deferrals for the next year?
Yes, so there's a difference between deferrals and then race transfers. A deferral would mean that they are eligible to come back and run that race next year. So if they get injured or if life happens and they have a death in the family or something like that, it's allowing them to go ahead and keep that registration available for the following year.
Okay. And then there was a question about QR codes. Somebody said that they were told not to use them as many people are worried about scams through QR codes. And what was our experience with that?
I think QR codes are great. I have actually not had any complaints myself from any race directors as far as scams or anything like that. It would
Me
be
too.
it would be a personal call, I guess, if you feel comfortable with it. But I have not had any complaints or issues coming in from race directors.
All right. And then let's see, there is another one about, I believe they're referring to early bird discounts. They said, can you also set up a sign up before a certain date discount?
So what you're referring to is tiered pricing. And yes, you can absolutely set up tiered pricing as a marketing strategy. You can go to race, registration, and then dates, pricing, and options. And then you can set up different registration periods in order to handle your early bird registration, your regular registration, and then your late registration fee.
All right. And then another question was about they have a kids run is one of the events in their race for kids 10 and under. How do we keep adults from registering?
That's a great question. So under your event that you want it to be kids only, you can expand your additional options, and then you can limit it to the ages of 0 through 10.
All right. Let's see here. Can you ask registrants how they heard about your event in some format?
Absolutely. So you can add registration questions. You can do this by going to race, registration, and then questions. And you'll be able to add in your question of how did you hear about this race? Now, I would suggest probably that you do a drop-down menu or maybe a checkbox. I would not suggest the essay, as that can't be pulled into the participant. The answers can't be pulled in as easily. You have to do a little bit extra work for that. So you could ask for a text box, but you might get some weird answers. So I'd probably keep them very specific, such as like social media, or if you're running certain campaigns.
Okay, and then somebody else was asking about how do they add the donation add-on feature in their setup?
So if you go to donations and then you go to setup, and then you're going to see your checkout add-on down here, and then you will just set up the different amounts that you want to offer. Again, you probably want to keep these relatively low because you're asking somebody at checkout that they specifically skipped that donation page to begin with and they didn't feel comfortable with, doing a $25 donation. But keeping it small, like $1, $3, $5, people are more likely to donate.
Okay, and then another one about asking where's the best place to design like an FAQ page for their website so it displays where people can find it easily.
Okay, so you can create different pages. If you're just using our legacy website, you're going to do that using a custom section. So race website, and then custom sections. And you would be able to create your FAQ page here. And then once you create your custom section, you can make that display as a new menu edit item under custom content display. If you're moving or transitioning over to our website builder, you would go to website V2, and then you can build out your pages over here once the page loads. Here it is. You can add as many pages as you want to here. You can see on this one, I did create an FAQ page, and it actually displays under event info. There it is.
All right, great. What would be the best way to do group discounts, like special pricing for teachers or first responders?
Okay, so the best way to handle that is actually going to be what we call memberships. So if you go to financial pricing and then memberships, you would be able to create those different types of groups that you're referring to. So you can do a military discount. You would put in your price adjustments of whatever it is that you want to offer. In this instance, you're actually going to want to put in that negative sign, so it'll take off the $5. And then you can ask for some way to validate that if you would like to, like which branch of the military are you in? and then you would just require a text field. If you're asking something for like a student number and you know exactly like how long the number is, you can ask for numeric characters or alphabetical characters, that kind of thing, just for verification options.
Okay, and I think that's pretty good for questions. A few we did not get to, but we will answer after the webinar.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and we'll answer any questions that we didn't get to via email. And if you have anything else, you can always reach me at val@runsignup.com.
Now Joel here, one of our developers, has something he wants to say.
Like and subscribe. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Hello, Internet. I'm here.
I should just have you record that for all the videos.